Welcome back to the channel, guys. It is a crazy, emotional day here, and we have so much to talk about. Grab a giant cup of coffee, or maybe something stronger, because the drama we are unpacking today is absolutely off the charts. We are diving deep into the latest shockers, and honestly, my jaw is still on the floor. Let's get right into it. And I just cannot believe I am actually typing these words right now. Eric Forrester is dead. Dead. The patriarch. The legend. The man who literally built Forrester Creations from the ground up and survived so many crazy health scares over the years is just gone. And he didn't die from some dramatic, incurable disease or old age peacefully in his sleep. No. He died because of a stupid, reckless, chaotic bar brawl at Bikini Bar. I am honestly still in shock. The fans on social media are losing their minds today, and I don't blame them. What were the writers thinking? Who actually believes this is going to end well for anyone on the canvas? It feels so cheap to lose Eric this way, but at the same time, the drama it has unleashed is so intense that I literally cannot look away. It's like a train wreck, a massive, emotional train wreck. So let's back up and talk about the immediate aftermath of Eric's shocking death. Because the way this played out was just wild. R.J. Forrester instantly flipped the script and turned himself into the grieving, suffering hero of the family. He played the victim so perfectly. R.J. stood there with his teary eyes and his bruised face, acting like he tried to save his grandfather. He acted like Will Spencer was this unhinged, violent monster who just came out of nowhere and murdered Eric. And the worst part, everyone believed him. Everyone. The entire city of Los Angeles basically boycotted Will. He was hunted. He was public enemy number one. You guys, it was brutal to watch. Will was completely isolated. His own family was panicking. Katie was probably losing her mind trying to figure out how to keep her son out of prison, and Bill was doing his usual Bill thing. But even all the Spencer money and power couldn't stop the absolute wave of hatred crashing down on Will. The media was tearing him apart. The Forrester family wanted his head on a spike. Elektra completely turned her back on him. I mean, it was dark. Really, really dark. But here is the thing about Will Spencer. He has that Spencer blood in him. He is Bill's son. Will is not the kind of guy who just sits around in the dark waiting to be destroyed. He didn't just sit there and wait to die or go to jail for the rest of his life. He knew the truth. He knew what really happened in that chaotic moment at Bikini Bar, and he knew RJ was lying. So Will goes full detective mode. He is desperate. He is running out of time before the cops lock him up forever. He goes back to the scene of the crime. He is prowling around the area near Bikini Bar, looking for anything. A witness, a security camera, anything, and he finds it. He actually finds it. A dash cam from a car that was parked right near the bar. Honestly, what are the odds of that? A perfectly positioned dash cam catching the exact angle of the fight through the window or the patio. Okay, that sounded dramatic and maybe a little too convenient for a soap opera plot, but you get what I mean. The writers needed a way out for Will, and they gave him the dash cam. But I don't even care that it's a soap trope because the payoff was so good. Will gets his hands on this footage. And he doesn't just hand it over to the police quietly. Oh no? He waits for the absolute most dramatic moment possible. Because this is the bold and the beautiful, and if you aren't going to expose a massive family secret at a public gathering, what are you even doing? And that brings us to the memorial service. Eric Forrester's tearful, heartbreaking memorial service. The whole family is there. The Forrester mansion is draped in sadness. Everyone is wearing black. The portraits of Eric are everywhere. The tears are flowing. Ridge is up there, completely broken, delivering this gut-wrenching eulogy about his father. Brooke is standing by his side, being the supportive wife. Donna is probably a complete wreck. The mood is so heavy you could cut it with a knife. RJ is sitting there in the front row, soaking up all the sympathy. People are patting RJ on the back, telling him how brave he is, how Eric would be so proud of him. RJ, 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 what a little weasel. Wait, maybe I'm being too harsh. He lost his grandfather too. But no, I'm not being too harsh. RJ is a coward. And we were all about to find out just how much of a coward he really is. Right in the middle of this emotional, tear-soaked memorial, the doors open. And in walks Will Spencer. The room literally gasps. You could hear a pin drop. Ridge looks like he is about to physically murder Will with his bare hands. Steffy is probably screaming for security. But Will doesn't flinch. He just walks right up to the front. He looks at RJ, and he looks at Ridge, and he says he has something everyone needs to see. Will hijacks the big screen? You know, the giant TV they always use for their fashion presentations and runway previews. Yeah, that one. Will plugs in his phone or whatever, and he plays the dashcam footage for the entire room. For the entire family, for all of Los Angeles to see. And he doesn't just play it. He plays it in slow motion. Crystal clear, high definition, slow motion video. We see the fight. We see Will throwing the punch. But then, the camera angle shows exactly what RJ saw. The video shows RJ looking past Will. RJ's eyes clearly lock onto Eric approaching from behind. RJ sees his grandfather stepping into the line of fire. RJ sees the punch coming. And RJ intentionally, deliberately, calculatingly ducks. He dodged. He dodged so the punch would miss him. But he knew exactly where Eric was standing. RJ literally used his own grandfather as a human shield. A human shield? He let Eric take the devastating blow to the head just to save his own skin, and then he let Eric die from it while blaming Will for the whole thing. The silence in that room. Oh my God, the silence. It was deafening. You guys, watching Ridge's face in that moment was one of the most incredible pieces of acting I have seen on this show in a long time. Ridge was stunned. He was paralyzed. His brain literally could not process what he was seeing on that screen. His golden boy, his perfect son with Brooke. The son he has been defending and protecting. The son who he went to war for. RJ was exposed as a complete and total coward. Ridge just stood there. He just stood there, staring at the screen and then staring at RJ. You could see the exact second that Ridge's heart broke into a million pieces, not just for Eric, but because of the monster his son turned out to be. And RJ, the panic on RJ's face was priceless. The fake grief instantly vanished, replaced by sheer, undeniable terror. He tried to speak. He tried to stutter out an excuse. It wasn't like that. I panicked. I didn't mean to. But the video was right there, crystal clear. You can't argue with HD slow motion dashcam footage. You just can't. In a matter of seconds, the entire dynamic of the show flipped upside down. RJ went from being the suffering victim, the grieving hero, to being hunted. The disgust in that room was palpable. His own family turned on him instantly. Steffy looked at him like he was a piece of trash. Electra, who had dumped Will and sided with RJ, looked like she was going to be sick. She realized she had been manipulated by a coward who let her grandfather die. The family was disgusted. They were looking at RJ like he was the devil himself. He wasn't the victim anymore. He was the villain. And Will was standing there, finally vindicated. He wasn't the monster. He was just a guy who got into a stupid fight, and RJ was the one who turned it into a fatal tragedy. But let's zoom out and talk about the bigger pattern here, because the fallout from this is going to be nuclear. It is going to destroy everything. And the biggest casualty, aside from Eric, is going to be Brooke and Ridge's marriage. Brooke and Ridge, destiny. They have survived so much over the years. They survived Taylor. They survived Sheila. They survived Thomas's crazy schemes. They survived Ridge punching Bill in the face just a few weeks ago. But can they survive this? Brooke was standing there watching that video, watching her son be exposed as a coward. Brooke always defends her kids. Always. She defends Hope to a fault, and she defends RJ. But how do you defend this? How do you look at your husband, who just lost his father, and defend the son who used that father as a human shield? Ridge is paralyzed by the truth, but that paralysis is going to turn into rage. It always does with Ridge. He is going to direct all of his anger, all of his grief, all of his disgust right at RJ. And Brooke is going to be caught in the middle. She is going to want to protect her son, even if he is a coward. That is just who Brooke is. She will say RJ made a mistake, that he was scared, that he didn't mean for Eric to die. And Ridge is not going to accept that. Ridge is going to see RJ as the reason his father is dead. This is going to push their relationship right to the absolute brink of collapse. I honestly don't see how they come back from this. The resentment is going to be too deep. Ridge is going to look at RJ and see the boy who killed Eric. And he is going to look at Brooke and see the woman defending him. It is brilliant soap opera writing, honestly. I was complaining about Eric dying earlier, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe this is exactly the shake-up this show needed. It shifts the entire power dynamic. Think about the Spencers. Bill Spencer is going to have a field day with this. Ridge declared all-out war on the Spencers. Ridge punched Bill. Ridge tried to destroy Will's life. And now Ridge's own son is the real villain. Bill is going to gloat so hard. He is going to rub this in Ridge's face until the end of time. Katie is going to be furious at how her son was treated, but also relieved that Will is cleared. And what about Will and Elektra? Elektra threw her necklace at Will. She moved out of the beach house. She told him he was a violent monster. Now she knows the truth. Is she going to go crawling back to Will? Will he even take her back? After she abandoned him when the whole city of LA was hunting him, I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. Will deserves better than someone who jumps ship the second things get hard. Plus, Will just slept with Melissa Dillon. Yeah, remember that. Will got drunk and depressed and slept with Dillon. So even if Elektra wants him back, that little secret is sitting right there like a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. And RJ. What is going to happen to RJ? Is he going to be arrested? Can you even be arrested for ducking a punch? Legally, probably not. It was Will's fist, but morally, RJ is guilty. The court of public opinion in Los Angeles is going to crucify him. Forrester Creations might have to fire him just to save their PR. He is going to be an outcast in his own family. I can't get over the image of that video playing at the memorial. The sheer audacity of Will to do it then. It was a master class in soap drama, short punches, huge reveals. So, where do we go from here? The writers have painted themselves into a fascinating corner. We have a dead patriarch, a shattered family, a marriage on the brink, a vindicated but traumatized Spencer, and a Forrester Golden Boy who is now the most hated person in the city. I am going to be glued to my screen for the next few weeks. You guys need to let me know in the comments what you think about this. Are you Team Will? Are you Team RJ? If anyone is actually Team RJ right now, I need to know why, because yikes. Do you think Brooke and Ridge are going to get a divorce over this? It is going to be a wild ride. The Bold and the Beautiful is finally giving us the messy, high-stakes drama we have been begging for. I am exhausted just talking about it, but I love it. I really, really love it.